Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the podcast, Hidden Points, where we
discuss our hidden points or pointers for all things related to careers, networking, and professional development.
It's been a minute. Good to see you all again. My name is Kevin Huang. I am currently one of the career coaches for the College of Health and Public Service, serving specifically students in criminal justice, emergency management, and public administration.
All the good stuff. And I am Mai McMillan. I am one of the career coaches for the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, and I meet specifically with mass communications majors. So that covers media arts, communication studies, as well as dance and theater.
A lot of majors. How are you handling all that?
I don't know.
Exactly. You all are under Maya. Wow, you have an amazing career coach who's just handling so much.
We have an amazing team and just department to kind of fall on for help and support through it all. But this is a busy season for both of our majors.
Yes, especially now
Yes.
as students and you all are starting to graduate. You're starting to look into finding jobs. And that's why today's episode, a very important episode, right?
Very important.
Very important episode, is on the modern day job search.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to give you a lot of tips and guidance on how we job search and also how you should job search and continue to look for that opportunity, especially as we're wrapping up the semester. So definitely tune in to the rest of this episode to figure out really good tips from both Maya and I.
Yes. Our last episode, we touched on resumes and cover letters and even kind of tapped a little bit into the internship search because it was relevant. So now we're diving fully into that internship, but also job search if you're looking for a job.
But
what that looks like.
Yes, watch that episode. Right? If you haven't
Before
already,
this.
go back to the other episodes and then get to this part. I mean, you can
Yes.
watch this too, but you definitely want to watch the one before this.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
important just to get an idea of where we are with this episode. But I mean, we always say as career coaches, you can't skip to, step 3 without step 1. So
Exactly.
step 1 is the resume and the cover letter.
Exactly. Yes, because
Yes.
you're not going to get to a job application and a website and say like, "Oh, I don't have a resume or a cover letter that is almost perfect or, really cleaned up," right? We definitely need that part. So we
Right.
definitely need to stress that our resume, our cover letter, all those things are one of the biggest resources and kind of like documents for your job search. And we'll touch into that too and how that connects.
Extremely important. Yeah, those the last thing you want to do is, using an outdated resume too for your job search. So extremely important. And we found that this topic was perfect for where we are in the semester because, we're meeting with a lot of seniors right now.
Right.
Juniors too, who are looking for internships, but a boatload of seniors who are about to graduate in less than a month. So, they have the job search on their mind, looking for that first job after college. And what better way to, discuss that topic and that process right now in like mid-April.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's coming up, and even if you're finished, you're graduated, that doesn't mean your job search ends there. You still have that time within summer or even closer to fall where you can still continue your job search. But hopefully these tips will help you find a job ASAP
Right.
and help you in that journey to find whatever you're looking for.
Yes, and applying what we talk about today to, your actual search and your process, whatever that may be, because the process is different for everyone.
Yeah, so I think the first thing, we'll talk a little bit more about how we do it, and then we'll get into kind of our resources that we recommend, how to navigate that, and then figure out some alternatives too. So I think the
Yes.
first thing we want to think about is, what does the job search look like for us? And how has that looked like for us in the past?
Yeah.
So what do you think, Maya? How's your job search been?
Ooh, well, I haven't job searched in a minute, so but it's different for everyone. I think it's easy to just sort of start looking for opportunities just to see what's out there. But even if you start the actual like search
Right.
or research, you still will find yourself, going back to step one, which, is the resume. So I think for me, the job search in the past has kind of consisted of seeing first what's out there, getting an idea of what, skills are required for a particular job. So I know what I need to add or remove from my resume. So I kind of use, like job postings as a reference for like a reference, but also like a understanding of or overview. I don't know if I'm using the right words, but for what, I need to speak on, but also hone my skills on.
So you're kind of looking at it as a resource to develop like verbiage or how you can connect the dots between the job that you're applying to and the work and experience that you have currently on your resume.
Yes, especially verbiage. Because even if your resume, you've looked at it, it's where it needs to be. There's always something, there's no right or wrong way to make a resume, but there's always something that you could add to it. And then even when the interview comes along, which, is another conversation in itself, knowing what things to speak on, what experiences and skills to elaborate on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think for an example, let's say a job posting mentions, this is emergency management related because I'm looking at others majors, but if it says a required software is ArcGIS or GIS, then you better have that on your resume because that's a key word and a key skill and ability that they're looking for. And if you don't have that, that might make it tougher for the job search, especially if you're in that field. So that's a really big thing. And I think I'm very similar to Maya, using the job postings more like a reference as a template of like what they're looking for, what they're expecting out of a potential candidate, and adjusting my resume based on it. Obviously, I'm not trying to lie on my resume or adjust things where I'm not having those experiences, but really kind of changing up things, adding things that maybe experiences that I haven't had for a different position I applied to, and trying to adjust it based upon the positions I am applying to, right? And like Maya, I haven't job searched in a minute, but that doesn't mean we don't continuously look at it and help students with it as we function day to day, right? We meet with a lot of students who are asking us, how do we job search? What should we do? And most of it is, hey, let me look at your resume. If you haven't met with me or met with Maya, it's mostly, hey, let me look at your resume. Let me see your experiences. How can we connect you? What kind of experiences do you have? And let's kind of shape it based upon those jobs that you're trying to apply for. And that's kind of what I do too. Whenever I'm applying to something, especially even in this job that I'm applying to, I recognize, hey, I have experience with students in different capacities. I have experience with working with student orgs in different ways. How can I word it in a way that connects my transferable skills back to the job I'm applying to? Because career services and the career center was a lot different than my previous position in higher education.
Exactly. And even in meeting with students, we learn about a number of job, like new resources, but job sites for the majors that we see, some of which can be general, but, it just shows that we're learning things every day, even as career coaches. There's a number of resources that, play into the job search. Some of the resources aren't even, tangible or like on a computer online, but even just through networking and who it is that you are meeting with. A lot of what goes into a job search too is, calling on or like seeking advice from others, but calling on the right resources and assistance to see what it is that you could do different or do better. If anything, I think that's an effective way to job search is not just doing it alone, but also, seeking that guidance from others who were either in your position or are in the industry that you're looking to enter, and seeing like, okay, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, what helped you. When you say?
I would definitely say that. And I think One of the resources that we definitely always recommend, we always talk about, I'm sure you all already tired of us saying it all the time, is the big H, Handshake. It's hard to forget because we always give handshakes, or we used to, maybe we still do. Whenever we introduce it, sometimes you do a little elbow, sometimes you do a little fist. It's different nowadays with the pandemic and everything, but the general premise of meeting someone, networking, trying to find connections is in a handshake. So that is our premier website that we utilize for everything career, job search related. Whether it be events, whether it be career fairs, whether it be finding jobs, internships, etc. It's all on Handshake, right?
And through networking. Well, through Handshake and through networking. Because Handshake, too, isn't solely used for, the Career Center's events, our events. A lot of times recruiters will come to campus just to table and meet with students, but to recruit. And we post a lot of, their own events on Handshake. So the event might not be organized through the Career Center, but we will still post it on Handshake for students to know about. So definitely employers can give a lot of great insight about, things that they look for, in candidates that we may not, think of.
Yeah, sometimes they'll ask us to post their events for like a career fair on their department. So they'll have a lot of different jobs that are hiring, and then they'll say, hey, we're looking for a lot of students to fill these positions. So there are a lot of opportunities on Handshake, especially for the modern day job search.
Plenty.
And sometimes we forget about that, or we're overwhelmed by whatever's happening on campus or in college during your studies, and forget about all these external resources, but they are here for you. Handshake is really especially important. Like career fairs. If you haven't been to one, I highly recommend you go to one. We have a bunch going through every single semester for different majors, all majors, whatever specialization it might be, and those are really great opportunities for you to be in person, to connect to employers, and to network,
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yes, in person. We do have virtual events, but most of ours are in person. And if anything, too, this is the Career Center's like busy season, but peak season. And shout out to the Career Center because we've had a lot of first-time career events this semester that we've, never put on before. So like this was the first time we've had a sports management career fair. The first time we've had a professions in the arts event specifically for all of our creative majors. And then we've also had a health career center for people who want to go into health administration, health professions, all of that. So the Career Center has been on it this semester, just making sure we cater to, those specific industries. And so those events are great for recruiting, but also, just networking, meeting people and expanding your network and collecting business cards. Yes,
a lot of business cards. Make sure you have them. We also offer them from the Career Center for free for students. So so it's a number of things, and as much as we love Handshake, and we say Handshake is all that you need it to be, it's where you can find all the information you need. We also understand that there's a number of other helpful job sites for the job search. Yeah, for sure. Can you tell us a little bit more about what those websites are?
Yes. So Indeed is one, probably a popular one. A lot of people think of. Very popular. There's ZipRecruiter. There's LinkedIn. There's LinkedIn's individual job bank. And then there's Glassdoor, on top of a number of resources for specific industries. But those are what come to mind when I think of generally speaking, like just jobs for any industry.
Yeah. And
did I miss any?
That's a good question. I think for our field, if you wanted to look into higher education, there is higher ed jobs.
Oh, yeah.
If that is your particular field. And I'm sure there are different websites. I know for my criminal justice majors folks, there's like jobs.gov, right?
Yes.
So it's very specific to your field, and you can utilize that. You could just search it up depending on what your field is, but there are going to be specific websites for them. But
Yes.
also check out the company website. If you're trying to apply to a specific company, USA Jobs, that's what it was. Sorry. Yes,
You were right there.
usajobs.gov. I was really close.
Yes.
Maya was able to find that and look it up. So
USA Jobs, yes, for careers in government. Did you say government?
government-based careers. So there are specific websites for industries, but also there are company websites, like I mentioned earlier, that you can check out very specific company opportunities.
Yes.
And I would highly recommend that too. Sometimes those align with the different recruiting websites,
Yes.
but also sometimes they don't appear on those websites. So if you can find an opportunity on their company website, that would also be really good.
Correct. For my majors, media arts, there's Backstage, there's Mandy.com, and then I'm glad you touched on career pages, career for companies. So their careers page.
Right.
That can go so far with just a simple job search, because everyone knows, the third party like websites that direct you to those pages. But when in doubt, if you feel like, okay, I've ran out of options, I've, explored all of that I can think of. When in doubt, look up a company you're interested in, or a company that's caught your eye, or a company that you've met at our career events, and then just, Google them, go to their website, and then go to their like job page. And that's where they'll post a lot of, current positions that they are currently hiring for. Yeah. So that's actually a really smart way to just kind of cut straight to the company, without going through everything, through the hoops.
Right. I know I tend to do that too. If I'm looking for a position in higher ed, which I did in the past, I would go to the institution's website and find the jobs on their website and then check it out there.
Yes.
Because depending on the field, it can be tough to find positions on Indeed or on LinkedIn or Handshake. So
yes.
Yeah, use all of the resources. Check it out. I know it's overwhelming. That's a lot. Like there's a lot of websites. There's a lot of opportunity out there. There's a lot of things you can apply for. But take it slowly.
Yes. Take your time.
Yeah, pace yourself. Work with your career coach.
Yeah.
Figure out what fits with you, or maybe you want to check out this posting and you want to figure out whether you can fit in this, or if you should apply to this. So bring a bunch of maybe job postings to your career coach, check it out, and talk about it, talk through it.
Yes, exactly. And even to, I always say, especially on LinkedIn, because not every job site shows, the number of applicants for that position, so people who have already applied for it. But LinkedIn especially is great for that, for seeing, how many people have also gone for that position. So I always say, if you see a high number of applicants, like extremely high, I wouldn't waste your time with it.
Unless you're really good, like if you're a really good candidate and you're strong as a candidate, you believe in yourself. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it, for sure.
Yeah, because I know, on LinkedIn, some of the job postings never get taken down, so that number will just keep climbing. But aside from that, in the job search, I would also advise, if you aren't 100% sure of like the job that you are going for. So say you're, about to graduate in less than a month, and you're open to any career or open to any job position, opportunity, but just open to anything. You want to avoid burning yourself out by applying to a lot of different things, especially if they are not related in any way, shape, or form. Right. So it's okay to express that you're open to anything and to keep an open mind, but at the same time, you still want to have some sort of direction with what it is that you're pursuing. Yeah,
for sure. And like I mentioned earlier, there's just a lot of websites and resources. However, I feel like sometimes we tend to go towards one resource or website. At least I feel like I do. Do you think there's any resources that are better than another?
I wouldn't say there's any, sites or resources that are better than others. They all, cater to different points in the job search and in the job like process, searching process. So I wouldn't say there's any site that's better than others. But some could be utilized, at the right moment, I would say. And then, yeah, I always say like utilize, all your resources. The Career Center has a number of resources too, but they're all helpful for the job search wherever you are in that process. Yeah. What do you think?
I think there are pros to a lot of different websites that you can utilize. For example, Indeed showcases when you're missing qualifications for a certain job or
I didn't
posting.
know that.
So if you have your resume, if you have your resume posted and you're kind of browsing through, you can see, hey, I'm missing these key qualifications or terms to even apply for this job. So it shows that it's not perfect, it's not the best, but it does do that if you want to just check out, hey, does my resume fit what I'm trying to apply for, right?
Yes.
On the other hand, I think LinkedIn also provides different opportunities to network and like groups to network with, as well as people to communicate with directly. So if you're looking for someone in your industry, you're maybe looking for a UNT alum, and you want to have a conversation with them, that's a very good tool, LinkedIn, to just say, hey, I'm interested in this field. I saw you were a UNT alum.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Can we have a one-on-one? Can we have some coffee, or just like a quick Zoom meeting to say, hey,
To catch up.
yeah, to catch up, or even say like, hey, how did you transition from UNT to a full-time position, and how did you
Right.
transition into this field?
Yes.
So that LinkedIn's also great. Handshake also great. Right?
Yes.
So I'm mentioning this.
All roads lead back
They
to
have
Handshake.
strengths that you can utilize in different ways, right? In Handshake, you have the added opportunity to be a UNT student connected to our UNT Handshake.
Yes.
And trying to find an opportunity allows you less competition on this platform because they understand they're looking for UNT students. Whereas if you're applying to Indeed, LinkedIn, all those other websites, they have a huge pool of candidates and people who are willing to try to apply, right?
Yes.
So there are benefits to each resource. You just have to utilize those strengths and try to find what your flow looks like.
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned the Indeed thing because I didn't know that about Indeed, and maybe because I've is that a paid feature? I don't know.
No, it's
No?
actually free.
It's free. Because LinkedIn Premium, I've just learned, basically allows that, where you can see like if there's skills that are missing for a specific posting, but also see where you align with other applicants. And I bring that up because a recent question one of my students brought to me was like, is paying for a particular resource like worth it in the job search? And this was a media arts student, so he was considering not so much LinkedIn Premium, but like one of the other job sites for media majors, and they have a similar feature where it's like you pay for a membership or something, but it promises and guarantees other like features that enhance the job search. And so to answer that student's question, and for you all, it definitely depends on where you are in the job search, but sometimes if paying for a membership or a feature is that little extra oomph that you need to get an interview or get where you need to be just to see where you can improve on and everything, I would say it's 100% worth it, especially if you are looking for that step, because once you get the job, you can unsubscribe from whatever it is you need to. So it's more so just for the search, but not permanent, not forever. Yeah, just a few other Career Center resources that we have for free on our website. We have My Plan, which is great for discovering your VIPs, so your values in a career, interests, your personality, how it aligns with the career, and then your skills. We have What Can I Do With This Major, ONET, and resume templates as well, and a number of things.
We also have access to Big Interview. If you're trying
Big
to
Interview.
gain experience on interviewing, that's a big part of the job search. Interviews, right? Mock
Yes.
interviews. Those are going to be important to practice, to make sure you're not struggling with an answer, because that might take you away from the pool of candidates if you're struggling to answer and kind of give them solid responses when you get asked a question. So Big Interview is really useful. Like you
For
mentioned,
seeing what you look like too.
exactly
in an
and how
interview.
you portray yourself physically, right? Because
Yes.
either it's going to be on Zoom or it's going to be on person. So either way, it's going to be
You want to be comfortable.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, comfortable and just more of a conversation. If you're having a conversation with your recruiting manager or recruiting or hiring manager, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good conversation and you're more casual, relaxed. So
Because you definitely want it to feel like a conversation, despite how nerve-wracking it could be. So that's really great for that. What can I do with this major is great if you are unsure of what to do with your degree, especially if you're approaching graduation. And then ONET is great for seeing what a specific occupation entails. So learning about the responsibilities, the work-life conditions, or the work environment, and just getting an idea of what you would be doing on a daily basis.
for sure, yeah.
We use those two the most.
For sure. So all of these resources are available for free on our website, Career Center UNT. So check those out, because if you're in the modern day job search currently, you're going to need all of them.
All of it.
All of
Yes. And they're free. So why not take advantage?
Yeah.
Because we use it in our career coaching appointments. So you all can access all of this, even outside of your appointments.
Right, yeah. And definitely meet with a career coach. They're going to give you more specialized help and support and trying to find you that job, or at least getting closer to finding a job. We obviously can't give you a job, right? But we can help and
Say it
support
ain't
you
so.
as much as possible and give you the resources and the support that you might need to
Yes.
get to that level.
Yes.
So just use all of your resources, reach out, and just continue working on it. So today we've given you a lot of different
covered a
paths. Covered a lot. Resources connected back to what we've done.
Networking.
Just going through our job searches, and it's a lot. It's a
It
lot.
is.
But I believe in you. We believe in you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you. So
Yes.
if you need anything, make an appointment with our career coaches.
Yes.
But I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping by again.
It was good to see you all.
Great
We
to see
will
you all.
touch on a new topic in our next episode.
Yes.
So take everything you've learned and run with it.
Yes, for sure. Good luck and take care, everyone. All right.
Bye.
See ya.